Hello everybody, James here, Storytime with Dutch Mantell, episode 150. I remember a couple of weeks ago, Dutch, we were saying, man, we should get a special guest for episode 150, and then it's now 150, and I've just realised we didn't do that.
I had a special guest.
Did you?
Yep. I can't tell you who it is because I've forgotten.
Was it the guy who mows the lawn outside who you're always complaining about?
It was the guy mowing the lawn. What if I went out there and stuck a camera in his face and said, "Hey, how you feel out here on this hot day? Hey, it's warm here today." So you can hear that?
No.
Oh, you can hear.
No, that's the total guess.
How did you know he was mowing?
I didn't. You just complained about it. You complained about the guy who mows the lawn like every Tuesday or every other Tuesday.
I swear, when you said that, he went right by the window.
Oh, did he really?
Yes, no, he did. I
didn't hear him.
Wait a minute. I thought you said you couldn't hear him, but apparently you can.
No?
Okay.
Just simpatico. What can I say? Right. You've already got the University of Dutch diploma out there for Troy Fields this time as well.
It's a different one today. See
it is a different one. So there we go. So if you want a nice shiny new diploma such as what Dutch has there, you want to email dirtydutchmantell with 2 L's at gmail.com. There's diplomas, there's signed for books, WCW trading cards as well. Write to dirtydutchmantell with 2 L's at gmail.com for a price, P&P, all that kind of thing, and Dutch will sort you out. And there's another email as well, of course, questions for Dutch at gmail.com. That's the email you get in touch with to submit your questions for the Sunday episode of Ask Dutch Anything. And one more thing, because I'm plugging it at the moment. I think we've got another video coming out today as we're recording this, but Listmania Wrestling, I need to actually put some links on the description. That's my new venture, my new jaunt into YouTube with deep dives and lists and all that kind of thing with wrestling, so I hope you join me there as well. Right, Dutch, you ready?
I got a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Why did you decide to, kind of get into the wrestling profession and talk about that? Why?
Why not? I'm not in the wrestling profession.
I know, but your whole podcast is devoted to it. Right?
So.
Do you do any more?
I do this one, I do the Stevie one, I do the Listmania one, I do my own channel, so that's 4.
But all wrestling?
All wrestling, yeah. I wanted to do non-wrestling stuff, and then I sort of thought...
It's boring as hell.
Do you know, I just sort of thought I'd best stick to my wheelhouse because I kind of know what I'm doing.
But you told me you're a fan, but you're not a fan.
What did I say? What did I say?
Something like that.
When did I say that?
You're doubting my word?
Well, I probably did say it, but I don't remember. I think the thing is that I find the wrestling business particularly fascinating. It's like I think that's what I find more fascinating. I like the numbers, I like the backstage drama, that kind of thing. And there's always something that's going to surprise you. You think, well, I've heard it all, I've seen it all, and then Jey Uso smashes his own head in with a chair.
Oh yeah. It is surprising. Try living it for 10, 20 years.
Let's go straight into that then. Jey Uso.
Let's do it.
Have you ever seen that happen before where someone has... I've seen it once before, but not like that. Where someone has managed to bust themselves open and they're the ones with the chair.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Really?
I'm trying to think, has it happened to me? Well, I didn't bust myself open. That award went to somebody else who were knocking the hell out of me. I remember a guy told me one time, he said, "Oh, when I get hit with a chair, I never put my hands up." I said, "You got to be the world's most stupidest man. You don't put your hands up? My God." I'm like this. Oh, God. Not only I put my hands up, I put my arms up too. Because, to stand there, if you think about it, just to stand there and get hit by a guy with a chair who's excited, you gotta have a lot of faith in him, or you don't give a crap about yourself. But I've returned a lot of receipts. we learned about the receipts from the Rampage Jackson or the Raja Jackson. The guy telling him, go get your receipt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he gave it. You got some news on that too, right?
Oh, yeah, that'll be coming sooner or later, yeah. That'll be coming sooner or later.
All right, let's start. This is the 50. This is the 100. How many have we done?
Well, this is 150 plus 90 Ask Dutch Anythings, plus a few specials here and there. So we've probably done the best part of 235 episodes now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like we started yesterday.
245, I should say.
Okay.
So,
alrighty.
Right, WrestlePalooza. Let's do WrestlePalooza. Jey Uso. Bron Breakker presents his back in a kind of a weird way, and then Jey Uso hits him in the back with a chair, and then somehow Jay's the one who comes off worse from it. Do you want to watch the video? Let's watch the video together, shall we?
Let's watch that.
Okay, one sec. Right, so this is the slow-mo, and actually found this after the fact. The single shot version of it. This is from the replay. How did that happen? Because it doesn't even ricochet. It just seems like his head's too close. What do you think that happened there?
Let's do it again. The chair didn't even come back. So you sure?
Yeah, I'm just looking.
He may have. Did he do it in the wind up?
No, don't think so.
Well, I don't see the chair going back and hitting him. Okay, he's coming up. Okay, right there. Boom.
It must have been so quick. And that's because, I mean, that was a lot of blood that came from his head, like, immediately as well. I mean, you can see. Sorry for our audio listeners, this is not fascinating. I don't even know there, but you can sort of maybe even see a cut immediately appear on his head, and then within a few seconds, he's... the blood's flowing like wine, Dutch.
So he bled quite a bit.
Yes.
Well... I've never done that, by the way. I wonder.
So
I don't know.
So Stevie had a theory, and I want to see how it holds up with you. There were two things. Bron was actually rising up at the time of the chair shot, so we'll watch it one more time. If you see that Bron is one sort of rising up and leaning into it a bit, but also two, his back isn't like his shoulder blades aren't back. His back is arched, and Stevie posited that might have, you know, instead of having a flat landing with the chair, sort of kinked the chair up, so when he landed, it went boop like that, and that's what cut him. We'll watch it one more time.
So you're saying when he comes down, the back part of the chair flies up. I didn't see it,
and it just a little angle like that, and it's cut him in the head.
When did these guys become magicians? I don't know, but that beats. I can't pick it out. So if I can't pick it out, I don't think anybody can, even slowing it down. But so he got quite a bit of blood.
Yeah, so he took a couple of spears and a splash from Bronson Reed as well. And then while the camera was on the Vision, who won the match, a fan cam, as well as the main cam actually a little bit, but a fan cam caught Jey Uso on the ring apron, and he was like convulsing. He was like shaking afterwards. So I don't know if it just like he just had an adrenaline rush or something like that after the fact. But he got through the match, and then he ended up on the ring apron for about a minute and a half, just like shaking uncontrollably.
What do you mean shaking? His body was shaking?
Yeah.
I don't know about that now.
He wasn't shown on camera, so I'm not sure he was doing it for effect. I
have no idea.
Yeah, Jimmy was there, the doctor was there, a trainer was there, and they had to all carry him out. But they still let him wrestle today. Yesterday on Raw.
I'm going to call him up right now.
Don't ring Rikishi by accident.
Hey, buddy, you okay? Oh, he said he was okay. Okay, what happened? Oh, okay. I won't tell anybody. See ya. he told me not to tell anybody, so I'm prohibited by wrestler's oath.
Fair enough.
So, wrestler's word.
Have you ever accidentally hit yourself with a weapon?
Have I?
Yeah.
I got to think. Probably have. Oh, yeah. Hey, the bullwhip used to get me almost, not every time, but it used to get me a lot. Because when I throw it out there and I bring it back, sometimes it would hit me too, which hurt like hell. So a guy say, "Oh, you want to use your bullwhip tonight?" I said, "No, I don't want to whip myself anymore." But that whip would come back. See, when I was trying to learn the whip, when I first got it, you just can't throw it out there because I thought you had to bring it back to you. What makes the popping sound is when you throw it out, it's traveling faster than sound. That's how fast it is. But it's got to kill its own power. Because if you yank it back, it's coming back at you almost at the same speed you sent it out. And I have blistered my little behind when that thing would come back fast. So it took me about 2 or 3 days, not in a row, but it took about 2 or 3 days training for me to learn how to even throw it out there. And I think a guy was watching me one day and he knew how a whip kind of worked. He said, "No, you're going to hurt yourself because when you throw it out there and you pull it back, it would come right for my face all the time." And it hurt. So, but I don't know what Mr. Uso did. So did he have to have any stitches?
I figured maybe a stitch or two, but he wrestled the next night, or he wrestled on Raw 2 nights later, so he couldn't have been that badly hurt, which is good.
Yeah, he's all right.
The next match that we're going to talk about is Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, once again at WrestlePalooza. And this is more... one of those things where what were they thinking, or what would you do as a booker from here? So the opening match was Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at the WWE WrestlePalooza deal, which opened the show 8 minutes. Brock dominated. He turned bright red. I mean, he looked like a tomato out there. He was absolutely purple.
A tomato.
Yes. And basically hit a load of F5s and won. What do you make of that, basically? Because I think some people have said, yeah, I get it, it's absolutely fine. And then other people are like, well, it's John Cena's retirement tour. Why would you just have him lose so badly? But Brock Lesnar's back. He looks the biggest he's ever looked. He's the reddest he's ever looked. What do you think of the booking, and where do you think Brock goes from here?
Where does Brock go from here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brock can go wherever they want him to go. So I think putting him against what about him? The one that's ready for him would be Cody, but they've already had that, right?
Yeah, that's
too long ago.
Yeah, so where does Brock go? Because apparently people have been asking, and the plan is that it's not going to be Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at the actual retirement match, and then John Cena gets his win back, and everyone's happy. So, I mean, with Brock beating John Cena with such convincing fashion, you would just sort of think it was a title match next. But then, as you say, rightly so, we've already had Brock and Cody. It was a couple of years ago now, in fairness. Is that too quick of a turnaround?
No, if it's a couple of years, they're fine. I thought they kind of had something like 3 or 4 before Brock left.
Yeah. But yeah, Brock's been gone 2 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so yeah, it was about 2 years ago. I think one of them in Puerto Rico or something? Like that Backlash? I can't remember.
Maybe.
That might have been Seth.
Okay, let's just book this for him. You know what I would like to see?
Hmm?
This is what I think would do good. And I don't know if it'd do good over a long period of time, but let me think of his name.
Is he Austrian by any chance, or is he Scott Steiner's
He's
son?
with Paul Heyman now with the group.
Bron Breakker.
Not Bum. I don't think it's time for him yet.
No?
But who is the leader of that group?
Seth Rollins.
Seth. I think Seth and Brock, that would do well. I don't know how well it would do over a period of time. And even though he's a heel, I think he'd be a babyface in that one. So, and he would fit it. I tell you, and Von Breaker, but later on, because I think they're going to put the title on him and run with him. Who is the damn, I can't think of any names.
Is it Bronson Reed you're thinking of? The other guy.
Well, not Bron. No, he's who's the pause it a second.
We have to think about the name, one sec. Right, we figured out it was Gunther, but yeah. Dutch was thinking Walter, which was Gunther's old name. But Dutch, Gunther, there's your man.
I would be interested in seeing Gunther and Lesnar. How's that sound? It sounds good right off the bat. I think that might work. I don't think Brock and CM Punk. I don't feel that like I do the other two. So what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think people were figuring, okay, so my idea is that Paul Heyman is now managing once again Brock Lesnar. So now you've got Brock and Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed and Becky Lynch. So you've got those four. So it's kind of like, do you think somebody gets jealous or two of them don't get along and then somebody splits off from Paul Heyman's group and that's the person who feuds with Brock come WrestleMania next year?
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't think Bronson Reed, he doesn't
have the name value, does he?
No. I think they kind of killed him off. Not killed him off, but they didn't do him any favors when he was a single. I don't feel him. Now, a fan, if a fan is talking, I mean, there's a lot of you got to take that seriously because we're thinking about it right now, and those two popped in my head. But Bronson Reed, I don't think there's much money behind him at this point.
What do you think? Why don't you think Bron Breakker's ready? Is it just a matter of time?
I don't think he's ready. I think he needs. He's over. He's getting there. It's hard to get over in a 4-man team. Very, very hard. Now, of course, turning him against them, that's easy. They just beat the living crap out of him. And he says, of course, the one he wants is Seth. So he goes to the other two or the other one, and then he finally sets up for Seth. And then they start their program. But Von Breakker, I think he's going to be a big name for them. How is his interviews?
Getting towards just like Scott Steiner's. So a little bit unhinged, which is good.
Do you ever hear Scott Steiner do his mathematical equation?
Of course, yeah, everyone's heard that one. It's a classic.
I was there the day he went. The day he did it the first time. I was rolling. I said, "Where did you get that?" And he said, "Made it up." But it was very, very good. Great.
Triple H in the post, they don't do press conferences anymore because I guess they can't control the narrative, so they do these like post interviews with people who are going to feed him easy questions. Triple H hinted that John Cena was actually meant to win the match, and he said, "John is in his final run. Brock is still Brock. That's when reality creeps in."
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know Jake never worked with Brock or anything when you were with Zeb Colter, but did you ever get the opinion that Brock was really hard to do business with when you were there?
Well, I didn't have that much contact with him, and I wasn't on the creative team, so I really had no business even talking to him about any of that stuff. But when they talk to these guys, of course, these guys have their own opinions of themselves. And of course, they want to keep themselves as viable as possible. But I think the guys only pop up when they want them to do something they don't think is in their best interest. I don't blame them. I don't think that Brock is hard to do business with if you explain it to him and where you're going. But what if he does that and then the next time, or say the next TV, they get off the path, they thought about it, oh, here's a better way. Well, Brock might not think that's a better way. And he will tell them. And that's what you hear sometimes. Oh, so-and-so left the TV tapings. Well, yeah, they have guys that just grab their bag and just get out of there. And they leave. So I did that one time, and they didn't even call me. I said, hey, did you notice something? They said, what? I left. They went, okay. Well, I said, all right. Well, that told me they had no plans for me. But I don't think Brock is that hard to do business with. Hey, did he get paid the 2 years he was out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was never officially suspended or anything, best we know. In fact, WWE, we found this out, a few months before he returned, WWE re-signed Brock. So he was away from WWE and they still re-signed him and then waited months before bringing him back. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like he was on a suspension or even injury, when they add time to your contract. No, they just let his contract run out and they paid him everything, then re-signed him.
While we're talking about Brock, what is the latest on Mr. Vince McMahon?
There is nothing new that's come out in months now, pretty much. The only thing is apparently for his 80th birthday party, he made everybody leave their phones either in their hotel rooms or they had to check their phones in at the door because he absolutely did not want any photos being leaked. Which is why apparently Vince was so upset with Jerry Lawler because they had an official photographer there. And then Jerry got one of those photos and then posted it onto Instagram.
Oh.
So he was in the doghouse somewhat for a little while with Vince because he leaked a photo without prior permission, I guess. Which sort of, showed Drew McIntyre and Sheamus and some people there.
I didn't know that. Hey, that's news to me. You see, when I want news about the wrestling business, I do all my reading, and then I call you. It has to be something that you're reading that I'm not, and I'll find out about it from you. You didn't know that, did you?
I did. I just told you. Oh, you mean you you getting your news from me? No, I kind of figured.
Yes.
Right. So John Cena also gave an interview recently regarding. So this match at WrestlePalooza was they're not as one-sided, not quite as one-sided. But it was like their SummerSlam 2014 match where, if you remember, you with the company, in fact, Brock Lesnar went in there, suplexed John Cena 15 times and then pinned him. John Cena didn't get a single move in, basically. And John Cena said where the creative came from for that idea. And here's the quote. I remember Brock Lesnar being like, hey, I just had dinner with Steve Austin last night and we came up with this idea where I just start suplexing you and don't stop and then beat you. Mm-hmm. And that was the entire idea, and apparently it was Steve Austin's idea.
And so they did that.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see it?
Oh, yeah.
What did you think about it when it was over?
I think it's probably one of the most stunning main events in WWE history. Because it's always back and forth to an extent. And then this one was just a complete one-sided domination, and Brock won. I think that sort of also signaled the end, maybe not the end, but getting towards the end of the Super Cena thing, where, John was, I won't say hard to do business with, but he was always winning, constantly overcoming the odds. And then in that instance, he made Brock look like an absolute $1 million that night. That was the same year that Brock defeated The Undertaker as well, at WrestleMania.
Yep, I was there for that one. And that crowd, I mean, that match had an edge to it. You could feel it in the air. So when he went out there and when he lost, it was like it was a funeral. I mean, not that quiet, of course, but according to normal wrestling audiences and crowds, They could not believe that The Undertaker lost. And that's the beauty about wrestling. Because when they do something that's unexpected, and that I think that was almost totally expected, is for The Undertaker to win. And then when he didn't, they thought, people stood up. They got a shot of a guy. He stood up and his mouth was open like, what the hell did they do? Now, I've often thought that maybe they shouldn't have had The Undertaker lose that one.
Well, he wasn't going to. The story goes is that Vince McMahon only changed his mind a few hours beforehand and then changed it to Brock. The only other thing that was interesting is because at that time you could gamble on the outcomes of WrestleManias again. And apparently there was a massive swing towards people betting on Brock to win because it was like odds of 13-1 or something. And then there was a huge swing of people who bet that Brock was going to win. And I don't know if that had anything to do with a change of decision. It probably didn't. But apparently there were quite a few people out there who were feeling that Brock was going to take it.
And they may have had inside information.
The betting's limited to only, a small amount. I mean, no one's going to be rich off that kind of information.
But even for a big bet, you don't win win enough to make that worth your bet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Say $1,000 bet, and if you're right, you only win.
You win 13,000, which is a decent amount, but like the bets were limited to like $30 or something, so you were hardly going to be paying off your house with a bet like that.
That's something I don't understand either. The betting odds. I don't even know how that works.
I've been in a bookie or two in my time. I could teach you.
Oh, okay.
It was the each way. If like horse racing, it was each way that always foxed me. Okay, so if it's not going to be Brock Lesnar, who should be John Cena's final opponent this December? Anybody on the horizon? Or anybody that would make sense as John's final opponent? Randy? They've already done the Randy Orton match. I've heard AJ Styles. Don't know why AJ Styles, but Seth, I don't know. Who do you think would be best?
Well, if it's his last match...
Does he have to win?
Yes, he needs to go out with a win. So I don't think they would try to do an angle with it because there's no need to, because he's not going to be around after his last match, allegedly. But so I'm trying to think of his last opponent. Who would you say, so I can say no?
Roman Reigns.
Nope.
Oh, okay then. Let me get a list up. 1 second, I'll read you a list.
That was a joke, and you completely missed it.
I know. I'm really sick, Dutch. You know this. So I'm soldiering on like a good boy. Let me find a list of people. Hang on. Just seen a list on Reddit. It's the worst list I've ever seen. Undertaker, retired. Edge in AEW. Randy Orton already wrestled. Brock Lesnar already wrestled. The Rock. It'd be great if they could get The Rock out. I mean, that'd be the best one ever. Or Steve Austin would actually be the best one ever, I guess. And Kurt Angle, who's very much retired. That's the worst list I've ever seen. Let me have a look at this list. This list hasn't loaded. I don't know. It says Brock Lesnar again. Don't know. What if it was Dominic Mysterio?
That would be a good one.
What about if it was... Has CM Punk wrestled? I think maybe CM Punk would be the best one, but I don't think he can really stand a loss at the moment, and it wouldn't make sense in storyline.
Nope.
The Miz.
Good God. Do you like The Miz? Do you like his character?
No, not really. I think he's just.
How long has he been there?
20 years.
At least. Has he been there that long?
Yeah.
Damn.
Drew. I mean, do you know what it is? Is that, I mean, all credit to him. The Miz is Mr. Dependable. for the company. I don't think he's ever said no to a gig or an interview or a extracurricular thing, and he just always made himself available for that kind of thing. And you know what? When you're reliable, and it's not like he's bad at wrestling or anything like that as well, but I think he's just always made himself available and a company man, and
that's what he's supposed to do. Anyway.
Exactly. So it's all credit to him that he's been there that long. Advertising Old Spice. Drew McIntyre, that'll be the last one I suggest.
Okay, so Cena's going over in this one?
That's what you said.
Well, he should. If he's going away forever, and let's send him out on a good note.
How about Mr. T? He's still alive. Drag him in the ring.
Mr. T.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, that'd be a good one. What about Undertaker?
He's as retired as it gets, I think.
What about Stephanie McMahon? That'd be a good one.
Oh my God, we've got to talk about that in a minute as well. That Stephanie McMahon thing. Right, let's move on. WrestleMania 42 ticket prices. Did you see the numbers?
I did see the numbers, and that's unbelievable.
Right then. So
what WrestleMania is this? The next one?
Yeah, Las Vegas again. It's not Saudi Arabia.
And it's number what?
42.
What number? When is 43? Is that the one in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, that's 2027, yeah.
What do you think those prices will be?
Well, the funny thing about that is that, I mean, the Saudis are just wanting to fill in a stadium, I imagine. And I don't think they're going for record gates or anything. I think they just want to have a good-looking arena. So I don't think they're going to be charging record prices at all. I think they're just going to want to fill the arena because it's not about making money. This is a huge loss leader for them just by having WrestleMania over.
But don't they have a deal with Saudi Arabia guaranteeing them X number of dollars?
Yeah, Saudi Arabia guarantees TKO. It's a bought and paid for show, so regardless if there's one person or 100,000, WWE will be making the same amount of money.
How much money do they make?
Well, I heard one number, I think
50 million.
That's for a regular PLE. WrestleMania, they're probably paying 150, 200
million.
Yeah. Hey, keep in mind that Las Vegas, I think, paid like, I don't know, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 million at tops they paid as a site fee. And then when Saudi Arabia turns up and, times it by 20, it's hard to, not go over there.
That would be hard to turn that down.
It would be.
You think the crowd will be hot?
They were for the last show they did in Saudi Arabia, but most of the other ones, the crowd have been fairly subdued. So I just do not foresee it being a great WrestleMania.
Okay.
Anyway, let's have a look at the prices. Do you want the highest prices or the lowest prices first?
Oh, let's go low first.
So, this is for both nights. The lowest you can get into the building for, per seat, $854.
And that's a regular seat?
That's the worst seat. That's in the nosebleeds, man.
A night?
No, that's for both nights. So
okay.
All of these are for Saturday and Sunday. So per seat, you're looking at $854 plus whatever Ticketmaster or Ticketline or whoever are charging on top as a fee.
Okay.
So you're looking at $900 there easy. For the worst seats, $450 a night.
Okay.
On the floor, the B floor seats where you're not going to be seeing anything, because I don't know if anyone's been to a stadium show, but if you're on the floor and you're anywhere other than, the first couple of rows, you're basically going to be looking at the back of someone's head, I think, for the most part. So section B, $3,868 for a bad floor seat, and for a section A1 floor seat, you're looking at $9,000. And that's not even front row or anything. That's just a...
What's the front row? $9,000? Oh, that's for both nights, so that's...
Just a snip.
That softens the blow a little.
Snip at $4,500 a night. Yeah, we covered this before. So they've got some VIP tickets, and they range between $35,000 and $70,000 per seat.
Now, did you ever think in your wildest dreams that a wrestling ticket would cost $5,000 or $10,000 to see it?
Hey, when was the first $100,000 gate you remember being a part of? Were like any of the Mid-South, not Mid-South Coliseums, but any of the New Orleans shows in Mid-South? Were they $100,000 gates, or when did they start hitting the six figures in wrestling?
I have no idea. The first $100,000 gate I was on, I think, was Puerto Rico. Years and years and years ago. We had 20,000 people there because we didn't have pay-per-view. That was the actual people showing up and watching it live. It was 107,000, I think, 110,000. But, if you're a wrestler and when you hear a figure, don't believe it. Because promoters have been known to actually fib a little bit about the actual money in the house. You will ask them, how's the house tonight? Oh, it's down a little bit. It's down. So it looks up to me, that we give away some free tickets. I've heard that, I bet, at least 100 times.
Tony Khan on pricing. So he said, I think it's on one of the post-paper.
I read this.
Well, absolutely. AEW's ticket pricing is designed to be very family-friendly, and it's been from the very beginning. Everyone involved with AEW from the beginning will tell you that we've always wanted to maintain affordable ticket pricing for the fans, in particular to bring families and young fans to the show and make it accessible for fans of all backgrounds, of all ages. I think it's really exciting for us that we're getting really good feedback about that. His thing, AEW actually did jack up the price a couple of years ago. I think maybe coinciding with All In 2 at Wembley Stadium. Mm-hmm. I remember the prices of that were way more than All In 1. Here's the thing, is that they don't book for families. Right. Do you know what I mean?
It's almost a hardcore show now, some of the stuff they do. But I will say Tony does have the right idea, because you can price yourself right out of business. Especially in this economy that's coming up. They keep saying it's going to be a rough one, so I don't know how a wrestling ticket fits into that scheme anywhere. But as long as Tony is thinking about, actual expenses on a family, they may need that to eat on. And I've often said, if you're depending on that money to eat on, I would say you need to drop wrestling for the time being, and you go ahead and eat. But I do salute him on trying to hold it down, because now how much do you think the prices went up on TKO when they came in?
Exponentially. When TKO came, WrestleMania tickets were already on the up and up, and they were multiplying in the last couple of years before TKO quite heavily. Like the average price, they were going up and up, and like noticeably year on year, like from 2018 or 2019. But TKO, it's like they've quadrupled it since. And here's the thing: it's like Mark Shapiro, has said that Vince McMahon was pricing tickets too low, and he said that the prices now are too low, and that they're looking at charging even more in the next year or two. And the thing is that until people stop paying the prices, they'll never stop raising the face value of every single ticket. So it's one of those things. It's a catch-22 where people complain about the ticket prices, but enough people keep buying them, so the prices will rise until you have to remortgage a house to go and see WWE these days. But they are really expensive.
Well, that is even. I think they're way too expensive. I really do. I think people look at those prices and go, "What the hell?" You got to be a really big fan to even consider paying those prices.
I'm just going to have a look at AEW here, and I'm going to tell you. So this is AEW presents Dynamite in Pittsburgh. So do you want to know a price?
Give me ringside, first row.
I'm not sure I can get you first row. Just one sec. So for AEW Dynamite in Pittsburgh, this is today as this show is released. You can get second row. Well, hang on, that doesn't sound so good. If you get second row tickets one day out, damn. But $286 for a second row seat, which compared to WWE would charge what, 3,000 or 4,000?
Yes,
for a Raw equivalent, basically.
So ask me, is that too high for me?
Is that too high for you? $287?
Hell yeah. That's to me, it's outrageous.
Yeah, I think so as well. Hey, I remember in 2006 we got floor seats for Raw for the equivalent of about $80 each, and we thought that was extortionate then, and we were like maybe 10 rows back or 12 rows back or something like that. But that's progress, I guess.
I was thinking back when I started, you know what a ringside ticket was?
Was it like $6 or something?
Something like that. $5 or $6. And I heard people complaining and bitching then. Oh, you're going to price yourself out of business. Yeah, people can't afford it. And granted, things were a lot different then. But to go from $6
to 70,000, yeah, to 70 for the front row.
I don't know.
Hey, I've got a question for you. When you went to the Mid-South Coliseum or one of the regular towns, would you always see the same people in the same seats in the first few rows? Because as I understand it, they had basically like season tickets.
Well, they didn't really have season tickets, but they just bought them ahead, I think. I've never heard of a season ticket back in those days. It turned out to be season tickets because they were in the same seats every week, every Monday night, or whenever sometimes it ran on a Sunday. But they ended up with season tickets. I think that's where the idea for season tickets came from. People buying the same seat week after week.
Hey, and now they have to buy a right to buy the seat, and then you pay the seat price. That's what it's evolved into.
When they closed the Coliseum down, people took their seats.
Did they?
Oh, yeah, they took the seat. I don't know if they were supposed to, but I'm sure if they went there and said, hey, listen, can I get they talk to a guy in the bank, slip him $10 and he just give him the seat.
We will move on. Stephanie McMahon is now the first WWE Hall of Fame 2026 inductee. You watched the video of The Undertaker? Yep. He rode down I watched it. I watched WrestlePalooza. And I was like, this segment was dying a death for a couple of minutes there. The Undertaker was losing the crowd. But at least he had a point. So what do you think of it all?
What do I think of the interview, or I think about her going in?
Both. Well, let's do the interview first and then her going in.
It's okay, her going in. She should go in, I think, because she was there at the beginning. And I'll say one thing, that Stephanie has aged very well. She's still a nice-looking lady. And the interview that Taker did with her, it was a little bogging down there a little bit, but that was never his forte anyway. Yeah, his forte was never talking. And even if, I used to take all these long trips with him, he's not a talking machine. He has a lot of good information, but if you want to talk to Undertaker, you got to ask him some questions and get him going. If on his own, he'll just sit there and enjoy the ride and look at you. But if you ask him some questions, then he gets fairly interesting. So he told me some stories. He used to bounce in a bar, and he told me the story one time. He told this guy, and said, "Well, time to leave." And the guy says, "I'll leave, but you ain't making me leave." So he come up about 10 minutes later, and he said, "All right, guys, time to get out. We're closing." The guy said it again. "Well, I'll leave, but you ain't making me leave." And after a while, it gets on your nerves, this guy. So finally, Undertaker, he walked him to the door and he said, "You making me," he said, "I'm leaving." And he was just messing around with Mark then. Mark was a bouncer. He said, "I'll leave, but you ain't making me leave." And Mark said, "I had him almost in the parking lot." And he said, when his foot hit right outside that door, he said, "I knocked that son of a," he said, "I knocked him out and I left him laying." I said, "Well," I said, "What'd you tell him after you knocked him out?" He said, "Well, he didn't hear me." But I says, "Well, time you to leave. I'm not making you leave, but you can leave on your own if you want to," and left him laying there. I said, "No." And I called him. I said, "You did not do that." He said, "Yeah, I did too." And I believe him.
That was a more interesting story than what Undertaker was doing out there. He should have just gone out and then just recounted that story. And then, by the way, Stephanie, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. You're in the Hall of Fame, whether you like it or not. You're in it.
I'm not making you go into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Okay, this is the question. Did you think she had prior knowledge of that?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you think Stephanie is a decent actress, or do you think it was a genuine surprise? Because they claimed last year that they did a big song and dance and surprised Triple H for for his WWE Hall of Fame induction thing, and I think everybody else just said he knew it in advance. It was all set up. There was cameras everywhere. There's no way he couldn't have known something was up.
So what is my question? Did she know it?
Yeah.
I think she did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty, to go in the Hall of Fame. How many people you think are in the Hall of Fame now?
Oh, it's hundreds probably. If you include the legacy and wing, there's got to be over 200 easy.
Well, I think she knew about it. But hey, Stephanie has never been accused of being a bad actress. Did she have any tears in that interview?
Not crocodile tears. I don't know if her eyes got a little damp.
Did she look super happy?
She seemed pretty happy. Fairly shocked. She wasn't going overboard, is what I'm saying.
No, I think she knew about it. And I think she is so good that it looked believable, or people wouldn't even be asking the question. I don't think. Maybe they would. I wonder why they had Undertaker do the announcement.
Well, I'm wondering who's going to do the induction. Is it going to be Vince? Is it going to be the Undertaker?
Wait a minute. I'm going to go on record. I don't think it'll be Vince.
No?
No. I think they don't want to go back and revisit their time with Vince again.
I don't know,
Who would be a proper inductee?
Well, if it's not the Undertaker, it will be Triple H. It might be Shane. I think it could be Vince because they keep slipping in Vince McMahon footage in packages, in historic packages. He was all over that WrestlePalooza introductory package, So they're slipping in Vince again.
Yeah, that's what they used to tell Vince.
He's slipping in his own turds. This was Vince.
Slip it in, Vince. Now that is terrible. Now, why would you come up with that?
No one said that.
I think you need to be censored, really. Hey, what about Linda McMahon?
Well, if you thought The Undertaker was boring, the Lindatronic 3000 can come out.
Maybe.
Awful. Terrible.
So who would you say would induct her?
Probably Triple H. I don't think it would make any sense for anyone else, really. Actually, I've not asked this. How was Stephanie to work with? I mean, what did she do when you were doing the Zeb Colter thing? I mean, did you really... Because she was like, the head writer of all the writers at the time, I guess?
I don't remember her as... She may have been on the creative team, and I don't know why. Maybe because of something she was doing, but she was always very nice, very friendly. But that's just on the outside. I don't know how she was inside the room.
Did she call you Zeb, or did she call you Dutch?
She called me Mr. Dutch. She put Mr. in front of my name.
Did you actually?
No, she called me Zeb. No, they weren't allowed to call me anything. They couldn't call me Dutch. So if my name had been Howard, they would have had to call me by strict personal orders by Vince. You call the character what we're calling him on TV. That was a rule.
Did everybody do that? Like the agents and everything do that to you?
Oh, yeah. They had to follow what Vince said.
Did Jack?
Who?
Jack Swagger, did he?
Did Jack call me Zeb?
Yeah, did he call you Zeb or did he call you Dutch?
No, he called me Dutch, but that we were riding together. But in another setting with other people, he would call me Zeb. Okay,
then. So let's go to another bone of contention, I guess, for WrestlePalooza, the ESPN review. So this was, as you know, Dutch, the first PLE on ESPN, and there's been multiple issues. Apparently, we're going to go through that as well. So the ESPN review said, despite featuring an impressive card stacked with top WWE talent, WrestlePalooza has drawn criticism from fans and pundits alike. The premium live event showcased two major title matches, a mixed tag bout that marked AJ Lee's return to the ring, in-ring competition after a decade, etc. Well, a handful of matches lived up to the hype. I say handful, there was only a handful. There's five. 5 matches, 3 hours 15, not including commercials, Dutch. What's the ideal amount of matches for a pay-per-view? I mean, 5 is too few.
Okay, it's a pay-per-view with ads on it.
Yes, can you believe? Well, it's not a pay-per-view. It's a premium live event, so it's not a pay-per-view, in theory. But you are paying $30 a month to watch a show with advertising on it.
I don't know. Ask me, did I take it?
What? Take it where?
No, ask me, did I watch it?
Did you watch? Well, you've watched some of it because I've sent you some of it, but
I did watch the John Cena and the Lesnar match.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about boring. I mean, it was a straight up just what's he call them, F5s.
Mm-hmm.
He give them four or five of them, and then he laid there. So, what's exciting about that? So, I wasn't really impressed by the show. They had 3.5 hours for 5 matches.
Oh yeah.
So how do they feel the rest of, since I didn't watch it, how do they feel the rest of that in commercials?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, the thing is, they had like the ESPN commercials, but then they had commercials within the PLE as well.
Okay, what is the length of a pay-per-view now, or a PLE that they're being called?
In WWE, if it's a B show, it's generally about 3 hours or so. If it is an A show like WrestleMania, they'll split it up over 2 nights, and then there'll be 3.5 to 4 hours each, roughly. That's a long. 5 matches, man. 5 matches in over 3 hours.
But on WrestleMania, they try to put everybody on.
Yeah,
correct?
No, not anymore. No, they might have 6 matches in 3.5 hours, maybe 7, but it's usually 6. It's like they're dragging stuff out, and these entrances, they're going longer than
Oh, that's longer than the match.
Yeah, they're on some cross-country journeys. Like, the entrances are ridiculously long.
Try a six-man tag team. It takes them at least 20 minutes just to get to the ring with all of them. Every one of them will have a 3 or 4 minute introduction.
That's what it is.
And after a while, it gets tiresome. You could actually go and change the oil in your car and come back and they're locking up.
So this goes to the ESPN review, essentially. So
okay,
beforehand, there were complaints that, well, ESPN reviewing WWE shows, I mean, of course they're going to be biased. Well, apparently not this one, because the review written by Andreas Hale rated the match between Stephanie McMahon and Io Sky for the women's title the best bout of the night, giving it B+. So apparently it's its own kind of grading system with ESPN, and essentially gave the entire show a C. And I think all the complaints were mostly across the board were the same. Just there was nothing of consequence. It was a major show that just didn't appeal to first-time viewers. It was too slow. It was too sluggish. There was too many matches where you needed prior information about why these people were wrestling as well, rather than making it kind of... maybe the motives weren't as obvious as they could have been as well, but a lot of it was very inconsequential. I think that's the major point. Too slow, too inconsequential.
Okay, on these matches, did they give you a video review of what's happened in the past, and that's why they're having this match?
Yeah, some of them they did, but that's just another reason why everything just went so slow, because then you've got to have a 4-minute video beforehand, then 12 minutes for the entrances, and then 20 minutes for the match, when the match really needed to be 8. And then they have to have a protracted waving of the hello crowd, thank you for the bell rings and whatever. Then we have to have the commentators talking for a while. Then there's got to be some celebrities in the crowd that were all podcasters for whatever reason. And is he called Tyrese Halliburton or whatever he's called?
Oh, they're podcasters in the crowd?
Yeah, we could be in the crowd.
Why aren't we there?
Because we don't want to pay for the tickets.
Oh, yeah, that is right. We can't pay for the tickets.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think about me for the WWE Hall of Fame?
The Undertaker would have to drive up and give you a really boring introduction first, though. Otherwise, I'm not for it.
He would have to drive up to my house and pick me up, take me to the airport, stick me on the plane, said, "I'll see you out there." People have asked me, why aren't you in the WWE Hall of Fame? I said, well, I don't know, but they've never called me or anything. So I don't even think, but they have put people in there who have never even stepped in to a wrestling ring. Who was that Drew guy they put in? Drew what? Carey.
Drew Carey, yeah.
And what did he ever do? Was he in a match on WrestleMania one time?
He had a comedy spot in the Royal Rumble match in 2001.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I'll make it, people, but I wouldn't turn it down.
Well, I always say, Coco Beware's there.
Yeah.
So if he's there, why not you?
Well, I think his career was a little bit more colorful than what I did. But the first time when I was there with the Harris brothers, Ron and Don, we didn't really do anything. Nothing. So.
Well, you had an argument with Lex Luger, if nothing else. And then Shawn Michaels got scared by one of the Harris brothers. That's a story. That's a story for another day. Just to round this out, what do you think of ESPN being truthful with WWE pay-per-view reviews? Do you think that's a trend that's going to continue, or do you think this guy's fired?
Well, who can disagree with his assessment, though?
It's pretty
subjective anyway. That's what I'm saying. If Peter went out there and really put them over, I think that would make ESPN and the reviewer, I think they would say, wait a minute, something's going on here. Because average fans are regular watchers of WWE. They know it's a so-so show, but they're used to it because not every show can blow you out of the water. They've seen a ton of shows that they have it, but really nothing of consequence happens or no match really stood out because these guys can't do this all the time. So I don't think ESPN will get upset with him. What's his name? Andreas what?
Andreas Hale or something like that, yeah.
I read it Andreas. Andreas. What's his last name?
Hale.
Well, hell. Well, hell, Andreas. What the hell, man? So, no, I think I didn't see anything wrong with his review.
I'll give you just a couple more bits, then we'll move on. Ricochet, who's with AEW now, found it amusing enough to tweet out, "I know our show was way better than a C." And then also, I don't know if you heard about this, the original plan with WWE going on ESPN was that anybody who had a cable subscription or whatnot and already had ESPN, they would automatically get the ESPN streaming service, of which WrestlePalooza is exclusive to. Turns out about 20 million people, they sold them a bill of goods on that one. That wasn't the case at all. So anyone who had YouTube TV, Comcast, Sling, a couple of others, they couldn't get, without paying an extra $30 for the streaming, they couldn't get WrestlePalooza. And apparently it's because the deal between ESPN and WWE and TKO was signed so quickly, they didn't have chance to then make deals with individual cable companies. So they basically made a promise at the beginning, and then about 20 million fans, but 20 million people, if they wanted to watch the pay-per-view, PLE, they couldn't without having to pay for the streaming on top of it.
So that's a big number mess. Well, they'll get it straightened out, I hope.
Yeah, well.
But hey, I've been reading that TKO may want to sell it.
The speculation.
To the Saudis.
Yeah, the speculation. Nothing.
But I've been hearing the Saudis for almost 10 years that they want to buy it. Do you think if the Saudis bought it, the WWE would it hurt them or would it help them?
It would hurt them.
Why?
Because I'm sure the Saudis would want to install their own CEOs and creative, and then they would meddle with the creative, and then they would constantly have shows in Saudi Arabia, and I think it would kill international and domestic fan interest to the point where the brand would be pretty much dead.
That's a good point. I've thought about that too, but I don't think it would. I don't think it would help them at all.
No, I think they'd lose money massively.
Pro wrestling is a Western thing, is in the Western hemisphere. So when they take it over there, yeah, they'll come watch it. It does well, but there's so many things you can do in America that you wouldn't be allowed to do in Saudi Arabia.
No, I think so too. We shall move on. Raja Jackson. It was a month, Dutch, but he's finally been arrested and bailed or bonded out.
Good.
Why do you think it took a month?
I don't know why it would take a month. I really don't. I can't come up with a reason why it took a month to arrest this Jackson kid for what he did. Did they set a trial date?
No.
They won't have a trial for 2 years.
Yeah, no, there won't be any trial date or anything. Let me read you all this. So TMZ Sports broke the story. Raja was arrested in Huntington Beach early Thursday morning in connection with his brutal beatdown last month with Psycho Stu. We obtained Raja being escorted out of his apartment in handcuffs. Did you see the video of him being escorted out?
No, I didn't see that. Can we see that?
There's nothing to it.
It's just a guy walking. He's just walking out with handcuffs.
Yeah, there's nothing to it.
I got it.
He was held on $50,000 bond before getting out hours later. He was arrested not for attempted murder, but for felony assault, which carries a maximum sentence of 6 years. So what do you think of that then? So felony assault instead of attempted murder. I mean, do you think that's sensible? Do you think that'd be too hard to prove attempted murder?
I think attempted murder would be to me, attempted murder is a mindset. Did he want to kill him? I think he was mad, but they can see that it was what did they get him for?
Felony assault.
Felony assault. I think that's good enough. The Stu guy didn't even want to press charges.
That's true. I can read you this. So this is from Douglas Mallow. Once again, that's the wrestler who got Raja Jackson away from Stu. He said on the Scaling Up podcast that it was not Stu who is pursuing the charges. There was enough evidence on video where they don't need anybody to press charges, Mallow said. With Stu, like from the beginning, I said he most likely won't want to press charges. That's where we're left at. I don't want to speak for him, but from what I know, that's the case. So basically, this is the state, apparently, that's going to be pursuing these charges rather than a more local level as well.
Well, I tell you, if I was Stu, what I'd be doing, I'd be seeing me another lawyer, and we'd have a big lawsuit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the kid had, he wouldn't have when the suit was over. And I don't think anybody can, other than to say, the kid is batty as a fruitcake. He's nuts. Because even you could just watch him walking around and watching that tape they put out before it happened. He acted weird then. Do you think he was on some mind-altering drug?
Well, supposedly they were trying to say mitigating circumstances is that Raja had a concussion or was given a concussion or sustained a concussion a couple of days earlier. So, I mean, that's probably going to be... Yeah, but who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, well...
I mean, he's obviously just mental in some way or another. He's got some weird issue going on with him.
Well, I'm glad he got charged. I'm interested in how it's going to turn out. People that watch that, now you understand why we work these matches. Because once that happens, there's no return on that. I mean, it was just, people want to be entertained. They don't want to be reminded that some things get real. So I wish the best for the kid. Well, not really.
Well, I was going to say, I wish the worst for him.
Do you really?
Oh, God, yeah. No.
Don't you think this young man is in enough trouble already?
No, put him in more trouble. 6 years. I think 6 years maximum. I think that's too little.
Yeah. Well, he won't get 6 years. You know what he'll get?
I don't know, probably 4, and then with good behavior, he'll probably be out 1.5.
I think he'll get 2, and he'll serve 8 months.
Yeah.
That's it. Then he'll get out.
So, Quinton Rampage Jackson, Raja Jackson's father, said his son was back home and doing okay. Whew, I was worried about that. Hours after he was booked for felony battery on Thursday, telling his buddies he's well aware of the fact that Raja effed up. Rampage went live on Kick... Oh, we already know that. Here's the quote from Rampage. "I'm doing okay. I'm holding up well," Rampage said, adding he understands the situation is no longer under his control. He being Raja, effed up. He effed up. He's got to learn his lesson. "It is what it is. All I can do is be a dad. He doesn't listen to me at the end of the day. He can't say I didn't do what I was supposed to do as a dad." Kind of turned it around like apparently it's all about him, according to this quote, Rampage.
Well, I think the kid, I'm going to throw some stuff in here. I think the kid always wanted the approval of his father. And his father was a successful boxer, and MMA. A lot of people followed him. And he always wanted the approval of his father, but never got it. And I think that kind of explained that why he almost killed Stu the last time they were in the ring.
Yeah.
And still didn't get it, because now his father's calling him an idiot, a goof, which is what he is, but he didn't want to hear that from his father.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone keeps calling him a kid. He's a grown man in his mid-20s.
Yep.
I think because this is a point that's been made a lot of times, because he's so and so's kid. People keep referring to him as a kid, but like a kid is a grown man in their mid-20s knows the difference between right and wrong. You can't. I worry that calling him the kid absolves him of some adult thinking, basically, or decision making.
Well, we'll see what happens. Do you think, how much time do you think he'll get? He's got to get time out of this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
What if he just got he got 2 years suspended?
It could happen. I think he'll plead guilty, because how could you not? So he won't get the full 6. He'll get credit for early plea. So let's say the most he gets is 4, and then he'll be out in a year and a half.
Yeah, well.
So as far as actual time served, you're saying 8 months, I say a year and a half. I think that's about the best case scenario. For Stu, the best case scenario is civil suit against the school, Blackpearl Rikishi, Raja Jackson. I think Rampage Jackson would be too much of a stretch. But potentially WWE, because the wrestling school was a WWE ID affiliated school. So WWE at some point might be legally on the hook, but I doubt they'd pay much anyway. I think the only way that Stu realistically gets money is if the school was insured or had, liability insurance, and then, they...
I don't think... Well, they have to have liability insurance.
Yeah.
I would think. But I don't think they have any money other than WWE. So...
Well, the insurers could pay out, or... would Rikishi or whoever just declare bankruptcy?
Oh, yeah, they're going to declare bankruptcy anyway. Stu is going to get, you know how much he's going to get out of this?
Little. I worry it's going to be nothing.
Big fat zero.
Right then. Bret Hart hates Triple H, apparently. So he has been doing...
Wait a minute. How many people does Bret Hart hate?
Oh, loads. But I always enjoy Bret's take. So Goldberg mostly.
Yeah.
I can't remember who
Dwayne
else.
hates Vince.
Eric Bischoff, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan.
Hates Vince.
Hates Vince.
Hates Hulk Hogan. Yeah. He hates Flair.
Oh, yeah.
What's he say about Flair?
Oh, he did. I think he said that Ric Flair was a totally overrated worker, and I think when they were working together initially in '92, he said that Ric Flair was intentionally dogging matches to make him look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Or, trying to pull rank on him, that kind of thing, when Bret was WWF champion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he wasn't the biggest fan of Flair for a long time.
Okay.
So this is what he has to say about Triple H. Keep in mind that Bret keeps going back to WWE and taking their money as well, which is always the funniest thing. So he's been on a spoken word tour in the UK and asking fan questions, or answering fan questions. And the topic of Triple H came up, and then Bret called Paul Levesque a phony who never earned it, as he just married the boss's daughter. Here's what he said. Here's some quotes. "I'm not sure where I stand with Triple H." Well, you'd be fairly sure now, after the rest of these quotes. Just being honest, I never rated him. Everything he's done and created is all stuff he wrote out for himself. I wish I could have sat back in 1992 and said, this is what I'm going to do for the next 10 years. I'm going to win every title, and I'm going to be the champion 55 times or 500 times. Do you want to react to that straight away? Yeah, because there's more.
Well, that sounds like Bret to me, more than it sounds like Triple H, even though it could have happened, but Bret's complaining about it. So tell me some more about him.
I think Triple H is a phony in the sense that he's never earned it and he never deserved it, I guess his sustained push. He married the boss's daughter, Stephanie McMahon. Let me just say this. I wish he had been in the dressing room when I knocked Vince McMahon out. I wish that it had happened. I wish he was in the dressing room because he might not have be married to Stephanie McMahon anymore, or it might not have ever happened. There was so much anger, and Triple H was such a slime ball back in 1997. He was a guy that I had very little respect for. I guess because he was associated with Shawn Michaels, and him and Shawn didn't get on for the longest time. I never rated Triple H. There's not one match I ever watched of Triple H's with anybody that I ever thought like, oh, that's a great match. I never wanted to wrestle him. I always look at every wrestler and go, I could do this with that guy, and I could do this with that guy. But with Triple H, it was always just a match. Nothing special ever came to mind. So, what do you think about Bret's assessment?
Hey, he doesn't like Triple H. Doesn't like the way he works, doesn't like the way he approaches the business, doesn't like the way he came up the hierarchy. But Triple H was a politician. That's what you got to be in the wrestling business. You got to promote yourself. And I never saw anything wrong with it. It's like selling a car. I mean, the car is not going to sell itself. You got to sell the car. And Triple H was very good at selling himself to creative and to the book and to Vince. So, and I don't know what business Bret thinks we're in, but to me, it takes a lot of energy to do that, not to like someone. It takes a lot of energy. And I think that takes away from your well-being and your happiness. If you're even spending time thinking about somebody you don't like, why? And I don't get it. Now, Bret can say what he wants to say, but, a lot of this criticism that he's leveling at other people, really, if he looks in a mirror, he might see it coming back and staring right back at him. So, and I'm sure that Bret tried to be a politician in the back too, and he must have been fairly successful because he came a long way. So who would you rather watch? Would you rather watch Triple H or Bret?
Oh, Bret, easily. Do you agree with Bret's assessment of Triple H that he's never had a great match?
Oh, I think he's had, but I never was I never watched Bret matches, and I didn't watch Triple H matches. But one was a heel, one was a baby face. And what he does say about Triple H is Triple H put himself in the position of the top guys, and which kind of helped him. If he had to get over by himself, he could get over. I think because I think people naturally dislike him anyway, but I can't remember a match that he had a great match. Never. But then again, I could count the matches that I watched Triple H in on one hand.
Let's move on. Oh, actually, I could also say that Eric Bischoff said that Bret Hart was the biggest waste of money in WCW history. But here's the thing: is like, well, Eric was the booker.
Well, he was the booker, but his hands were tied.
Yeah, well, Hulk Hogan had creative control, really.
But they signed Bret at some super price, I would imagine.
$2.8 million. That was back in '97.
So what does Bret want? Bret wants the money, or does he want to be famous?
Okay, this has been leveled at Bret quite a few times. He would rather probably earn less money, but be the champion.
I believe that. You know what they call that in the wrestling business?
I think you're going to tell me.
Being a mark for yourself. That's exactly what it sounds like to me. Because I think he would rather have the accolades and the endearments rather than the money. But when you're talking about almost $3 million, I mean, if you made $3 million, this was what year?
97. So that'd be 6 million or 7 million today in today's money a year.
Absolutely.
I've got an example for you. Bret
He had to be.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you carry on.
He had to be one of the highest paid guys, or probably the highest paid guy at that point.
A second below Hogan. He was.
And what was Hogan making?
He was making at that time. When he re-signed in '98, he was making all in over 6 million a year, and then Bret was making 2.8 million a year, like a flat fee kind of thing. And
I guarantee you that Bret hated that. Because you know what he knew what Hulk was making.
Well, I'm interested in that because I'm not sure anybody knew just how much Hulk was making until later on. Because that contract was released years after the fact. But yeah, Hulk Hogan was making 6 million or so.
That's even worse because now Bret has an arbitrary figure in his head that is above his. And that's what he was mad at. He was mad at something he didn't even know was true or not.
With, what was I going to say? Just to give you the previous example, is that Bret actually originally turned down that $2.8 million a year contract with WCW and accepted a $1.25 million a year contract with Vince. This was a few months before the Montreal Screwjob, so he would have rather have been with the WWF with more dates and less than half the money because he wanted to remain with the WWF.
Well, that explains his anger now a little bit because he stayed with them for less money because he was dedicated to WWE. And when the WCW came along, he didn't go with them. So he had it in his head. He should have been treated better. Mm-hmm. If he wasn't going to be paid better, he needed to be treated better.
Yep. He took the WWF deal, and then Vince McMahon reneged on that deal and then told him to go and sign with WCW. So he did take the $2.8 million deal, but he rather would have earned less than half the money for more dates.
See, a lot of times when they go back and say, hey, is that offer still there? I would say 9 times out of 10, the offer wouldn't be there. But in this case, apparently it was there. Mm-hmm. Brother, if they'd have said $2.8 million to me, I don't care what I was doing. I said, well, where did I sign? Let's go. Just tell me where to go and where to catch that plane.
Hey, and once again, less dates as well, but that's loyalty, I guess. We've got a couple more bits, then we're going to shut down the show. Mickie James, TNA Hall of Fame. Yep. Mickie James secured her spot as one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time long ago. Self-proclaimed hardcore country girl, grew up as a pro wrestling fan, 99 started, still wrestles today. This is what TNA said about the induction. Mickie James is an 11-time Women's World Champion between WWE and TNA Wrestling. She will be inducted into the TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame on Sunday, October 12th at Bound for Glory. The surprise announcement was made today during a live episode of Not Sam Wrestling, etc., whatever, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, she's going to be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. How much interaction have you had with Mickie over the years, and does she deserve it?
A little bit. I always got along with her. She was very friendly, very nice, knew what she was doing in the ring. So she's going in the TNA Hall of Fame.
She is.
There's only 3 other girls in that.
Yeah, I think it was like Gail Kim, Awesome Kong, and Victoria,
Tracy
maybe?
Brooks.
Tracy Brooks, I'm sorry.
Tracy Brooks. So, but she's going to be in that one. She belongs in there. So why is that such a big deal? She's going to the TNA. Is she in the WWE Hall of Fame?
No, I think she will be at some point.
So what's the big news about her going in the TNA Hall of Fame?
I mean, that's the news story. I just wanted to know if there were any... There's a fly here. I just wanted to know if there was any stories you could tell about Mickie. Because I'm trying to think, when did you cross paths? Was it WWE or Impact or anywhere else?
No, I knew her in TNA. So.
Oh, she was what was she, Lexus Lurie or something like that, like in the very early days, wasn't she?
What was the name?
Was it like a Lexus Lurie? And she was
something
with
like that,
CM Punk and stuff at the time.
I think I recall something like that. But no, Tracy's good in the ring. Had some good ideas.
That's good because we're talking about Mickie.
Who'd I say?
You said Tracy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mickie was good. Easy to get along with. Good in the ring. Had some decent ideas. Where is she from? Isn't she from North Carolina, I think?
I can search for you. Don't know where they live now, though. But I'm going to tell you she was born
lives in Nashville now.
Richmond, Virginia.
Okay, somewhere up in there. So.
And who's she married to?
Mr. Can't think of his name. Wait a minute.
What country is he from?
No, he's from the UK.
Yeah.
I got that. And give me his initials. Let me see how democratized I am today.
N.A.
And Nick.
Yep.
Aldis.
Well done. There you go.
See?
A couple more bits, just because this is amusing. Right. Lacey Evans is filing false DMCA claims, which is
I didn't understand this. DCMA.
Copyright. Okay. Here's the thing. This is from Ringside News. Former WWE superstar Lacey Evans is actively filing fraudulent DMCA claims in an effort to scrub the internet of articles and photos related to her OnlyFans career and even her WWE past. So she's using her real name, Macy Estrella, to do it. Ringside News can confirm that Evans has launched a full-blown campaign targeting content she doesn't legally own, including images from WWE programming, which fall under fair use protections for news reporting. This follows a similar effort by Mandy Rose. You remember Mandy Rose a couple of years ago? She went on an OnlyFans thing. Apparently she's tried to do the same thing, try and scrub the internet of all the photos that she herself sold. Anyway. Claims aren't limited to adult content. Evans is attempting to remove any article or photo that doesn't present her in a favourable light, regardless of whether she legally owns the imagery or content. It's a clear misuse of copyright law, etc., and she's been targeting a number of websites, apparently. Why? Why would someone do OnlyFans content and then make money from it and then decide that they want to take everything down from, basically make it look like it never existed?
I know very little about OnlyFans. I've never even went to the OnlyFans website. Have you gone there?
No. I've not signed up, if that's what you're asking.
Wait a minute. You're looking around. Where's the little wifey? I've never been there. Never been there. So she's trying to take things off that she put up before to make money.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that works.
Well, it doesn't. That's the thing. But the thing is like, apparently this is not just related to these two, but apparently other women try and do it. They have basically they're selling photos or videos, or they have an adult orientated job. And then they seem to go on this campaign to try and scrub the internet, which never works. You can't do that. Of content, whether they own it or not, because they regret their actions. But the kind of thing, I think the answer is here is actions have consequences here, and you should just basically accept them.
Well, I don't know how that's going to get done. I think sometimes they say, well, I don't even know what they're thinking. But you know that OnlyFans, I read this about OnlyFans. I don't know if this is true or not. They can make millions of dollars on OnlyFans if it's really followed and they have a little bit of a name. There was a girl, and I think it may have been the girl you said here with Tracy.
Yeah, Mandy Rose. Why do you keep saying Tracy? Lacey.
Tracy. But wasn't she a Lacey one time?
She was Lacey Evans. She's Lacey Evans. You've just got Tracy Brooks on the brain.
I do. I
don't blame you.
I didn't say Tracy. I didn't say Tracy Brooks. I said Tracy. Lacey or Stacy. Tracy. Yeah, I got it. But I don't understand how it works. But they can make a lot of money. But when they get off, you're saying that whatever they posted is not their property anymore.
Well, what they posted is, But the problem is that apparently, I mean, according to this article, Lacey Evans is trying to remove any website article that has WWE images of her, which she doesn't own. So apparently she's been going on a campaign and trying to remove thousands or hundreds of articles relating to her.
Impossible. You can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you say that?
Well, yeah, you can't do it. I mean, you can make a dent, but you won't make a dent. You know what I mean?
Isn't this more of a WWE problem than hers?
No, because they don't care. But the thing is that if it's their image, then she has no right to try and take down website articles, I guess, pertaining to her.
Well, I don't know. Does that affect you?
No. I just thought it'd be nice to mention it.
Guess what? Who else it doesn't affect?
Most other people, yeah.
So I don't care.
Okay, we'll just do this one.
Wish your luck.
We'll just do this one. Ricky Morton's massive championship belt. Did you see this?
Oh, I saw that. Can we show that picture?
Yeah, we can. 1 second, I'm going to find it. You want to say something first, Dutch, so
okay.
Before the big reveal.
You said something about a big belt. I've seen them before, huge belts, that I think that's the biggest belt I've ever seen until I saw this one. This belt, and I think you described it to me first, and I think quite accurately, you described it as a bulletproof vest. And it is that big. So, and Ricky Morton's not a giant, so he's about 5'8", 5'9". But I won't. You got the picture ready to show?
I've got the picture ready to show. There we go.
You got to look at this belt, and it's
like a suit of armor on him.
Oh my God! Oh, it goes from his belt all the way up to his neck. And what's that say on it?
It just says Battle Royal, so he must have won a Battle Royal.
Yes. That is the biggest belt I have ever seen in my life. And my friend Ricky Morton is wearing it. And look at Ricky, he's laughing right now.
I think he's under like considerable strain. He's just like, take the photo quick, I'm going to fall over.
Yeah, that is the biggest belt I've ever seen.
Wasn't there like a massive one in Mid-South or something that Magnum TA had, and it was like ridiculous. But
it was big, but nowhere close to this one. Probably the biggest belt. You see where it says Battle Royal in the green? That was how probably, if you take that from Battle Royal down to where the metal stops, that was probably the biggest belt I've ever seen up to this point. So I don't know where they had that made. That probably had to cost them $2,000 or more just to get that belt made. So, but I'm glad Ricky has it. He looks good. And Ricky, he just had his birthday last week. You know how old he was?
Is he 70 yet?
Not quite. He's 69. So
fine age.
Yep. Well, but he looks good.
Just because I want to show you this as well. Can you see? I'm not sure you can really see it on the. Yeah, we can. Here we go. That's Magnum TA's belt from Mid-South.
Yeah. Yes.
And that was a big one. It's like, have you ever seen a belt okay, let's go back to Ricky Morton. Have you ever seen a belt that entirely protects all of your vital organs? Like every single one. He can go into a war zone with that, man.
What did you call it?
Well, that's what it looks like. It looks like a bulletproof vest made out of a baking tray. Like one of those like classy silver serving dishes kind of things. Congratulations, Ricky Morton, on that massive belt you've won. Right, we're going to shut down the show, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Ask Dutch Anything is going to be out like always, or nearly always anyway, this coming Sunday. Once again, questions for dutch@gmail.com if you want to email in the show with your question for a future episode of Ask Dutch Anything. So until Sunday, Dutch and everybody else, we the people.
We the people. See you then.